Welcome back. The Florida state chapter of the NAACP has asked the organization's national board to issue a travel advisory for anyone thinking of coming here. WPTV News Channel 5's Kate Hussey spoke to the head of the local NAACP chapter in Martin County about that vote.
Nearly 140 million people. That's how many visited Florida in 2022. In 2021, that reeled in about $100 billion to our state. Those numbers could be directly impacted if the NAACP issues a travel advisory. Yet one local leader here in Martin County says he hopes it's a wake-up call.
They don't want to remove from the shelves of the school.
Jimmy Smith
So this is very important.
Clears the way towards a shelf full of books as he reaches down and pulls one out.
Which this book is one of the popular books.
The book,
Right here.
colored red, white, and blue,
And it talks about racing.
is ironic to him. The fact it's now banned from Martin County schools represents anything but the patriotic colors on its cover.
We are saying that we're getting rid of trying to erase Black history, which Black history should be American history.
It's part of the reason he and the rest of the Florida State NAACP chapter voted unanimously to request its national board to ask people not to visit the Sunshine State as a way of protesting the recent book ban, Florida's rejection of the AP curriculum for African American studies, and other controversial decisions made in Tallahassee.
We are seeing some very terrible decision making that seem to be trying to turn things to go backwards.
Yet Stewart Mayor Troy McDonald feels it could cause more harm than help.
The city of Stewart has had a long-standing, great relationship with the NAACP, and I think a travel ban like this would hurt their own constituents, Black-owned businesses, folks working in the service industry, and it's just not the service industry that gets hit, it's all the ancillary businesses that support tourism.
The NAACP's 15-year boycott of South Carolina over the state's Confederate flag cost its cities the opportunity to host March Madness games and other events, resulting in the loss of at least $10 million for each city, if not millions more.
That would be a good way to wake up everybody.
Smith realizes it would be a financial blow, but hopes the pressure the travel advisory could bring would not only clear the way for books to head back onto school shelves, but clear the way for more unity and less division.
It's time to unite together. And when we fight, we win. When we fight together, we win.
The NAACP National Board will meet again in May. That's the earliest chance they'll get to discuss this travel advisory. As for Jimmy Smith, he tells me he'll probably find out when the state board meets next, which he says will be in June. Reporting in Martin County, I'm Kate Hussey, WPTV News Channel 5.
Now, Governor Ron DeSantis did respond to the vote late last week, calling it a stunt. Listen.
This is a stunt to try to do that. It's a pure stunt. And fine, if you want to waste your time on a stunt, that's fine. Look, I get, but I'm not wasting my time on your stunts, okay? I'm going to make sure that we're getting things done here, and we're going to continue to make this state a great state.
WPTV political analyst Brian Crowley back once again. Brian, what's your take on this and the NAACP vote and the governor's reaction?
Well, you got the very distinct impression that the governor was a little annoyed by what he called a stunt. I think it was unnecessary for the governor to use that kind of a derisive term toward what the NAACP is considering doing. I mean, they have legitimate concerns that ought to be at least talked about. The governor would have been better off had he called in some leaders from the NAACP, had a private meeting. He doesn't have to invite the media in, had a private meeting, and let's talk about it. What are your concerns? What do you think we're doing right? What do you think we're doing wrong? And perhaps they would have reached a path forward. That's not leadership to simply dismiss it as a stunt.
Governor said, what a joke. In our nation, sometimes we get into these stupid fights. He was quoted later and pressed about it again at a later. He did a number of press briefings this week, but at a later meetup, he said, what a joke. In our nation, we get into these stupid fights. And the NAACP doubled down, saying DeSantis is insensitive about issues facing people of color.
Well, you know, he's pushing legislation now that would take the, quote, Stop Woke Act that goes from K through 3, have it go all the way to the 12th grade.
Right.
So even a 16-year-old couldn't hear anything about sex in high school. So who has the agenda? Everybody
Unless
has
it's sex ed courses, but that was specific.
Right.
In
Unless it's a sex ed course. But everybody has an agenda. So that's not the issue. You sit down, you do what our founding fathers, who he likes to quote a lot, Their idea was you sit down, you discuss it, you reach compromise. They weren't looking for a dictatorship, and dictating what people can, by calling this thing a stunt, I think is just unnecessary.
Some political pundits have said this is politics at best, this back and forth. Does this follow him to the national stage, and is that the intention? Your take.
Oh, I think it absolutely follows him to the national stage. You know, he sees himself as a candidate who is looking out for the middle class, if you will, and looking out for people who he thinks have been blamed for things that they didn't do, primarily, you know, people who he believes are the ones being punished by critical race theory teachings, by saying that white people are responsible and should feel shamed by the things that happen. But, you know, in the day-to-day lives of Floridians and people across the country, they're worried about their homeowners insurance. They're worried about the fact that their bills for electricity next month will be going up significantly. This kind of stuff it grabs headlines, but it doesn't necessarily solve problems.
Political back and forth on that, but unlike a lot of bills that we've talked about this year, there is one bill that a lot of people on both sides of the aisle agree on. It has broad bipartisan support. Our Capitol reporter Forrest Saunders tells us about the Teachers' Bill of Rights as it continues to make steady progress in the legislature.
It was back in January, Governor Ron DeSantis announced his plan for a Teachers' Bill of Rights.
We've worked really hard since I've been governor to put an emphasis on education really across the board.
Fast forward a few months, and the idea keeps making steady progress in the Senate.
By your vote, so SB 244 is reported favorably.
Clearing its second of three committees Tuesday, again unanimously. The bill has a whole bunch of provisions, but perhaps its most widely supported, programs and incentives to bring more into teaching to fight a growing shortage.
The tools provided in this bill create a pipeline into teaching that is needed to make sure our school district and our children have what they deserve.
The bill sponsor highlighted a few of those tools, like easing teaching requirements for some, scholarship opportunities, and an apprenticeship program, which former teachers like the sound of.
That mentor that I had, who was amazing, really got me through those years and got me over that quote unquote hump of the first 2 years of just not knowing where I was and what I was doing.
Then there's the actual Teachers' Bill of Rights, a list including protections for educators following state law, but in violation of district policy, a shield for teachers trying to control a rowdy classroom, plus a way for teachers to report violations of their rights to the state ed department.
I'll tell you my negative before I tell you my positive.
Some Democrats did have a few concerns that the language is too broad.
And I'm not sure what else we're capturing when we say violation of a student, parent, or teacher's rights in such a broad sense.
Now, over in the House, there is at least one bill with some similar provisions in it. It could mean that we'll see some changes, as one bill will likely be folded into the other as the legislative session continues. But with wide support and the governor on board, it's a pretty safe bet that at least something will reach his desk before the end of this year's legislative session. That's the latest out here at the Capitol. I'm Forrest Saunders reporting.
Fascinating that this legislative session, anything has bipartisan support, Brian.
Sure,
but
absolutely.
When you poll both sides, they're saying they're really hoping this will stem the teacher shortage in the state. Is it going to work?
Well, we'll see. I mean, this bill does a lot to help bring people into the teaching profession. But the other part of that challenge is you add parental rights and student rights. You know, I've talked to teachers who are a little cautious about what they say in a classroom now, or a little afraid of what might happen if they say the wrong thing. You know, there's a school in Tallahassee that last week a teacher showed, this is a private school that professes that it's teaching Latin and old classics and that kind of thing. And they showed a picture of the statue of Michelangelo's David. And a couple of parents complained because it's a nude statue of David. And the principal wound up being forced to leave her job. So you've got this interesting balance. You're trying to bring teachers in, but they better toe the line once they get here.
House Bill 1 makes all students eligible to get state funding for private tuition, passed both chambers, now heads to the governor's desk for his signature. Democrats have criticized the bill, calling it, a betrayal of Florida's public schools. Republicans on the floor were saying this puts parents back in the driver's seat. Your take, it's going to be signed.
Well, my first take is similar to some others. It's that, why are folks who are millionaires and billionaires able to get money to send taxpayer dollars to send their kids to expensive private schools? They can already afford it. They don't need it. If this helps other folks, the working folks out there, be able to go to the schools of their choice, great. But you're taking an awful lot of taxpayer dollars, and you're also putting it toward people who don't need it. The other impact that this is totally an experiment, because both the House and the Senate have come up with dramatically different figures on the hundreds of millions of dollars this could potentially cost. And that money will come out of the public schools, which one state representative, Randy Fine from the Ocala area, describes as government schools. So there's a bit of animosity that dates all the way back to when Jeb Bush was governor toward public schools, and this could have a dramatic impact on the financing of public schools. It's an experiment.
We'll have to wait and see the exact cost, because you're right, those numbers aren't quite there yet, and both sides agree we don't have those numbers firm yet. Anything else top of mind as we close out? We have about 60 seconds.
Well, as I said a little bit ago, I'm already seeing people that there was an attorney I know who was getting ready to buy a house, and suddenly they're getting slammed with this really high homeowners insurance.
Sure.
So they're having second thoughts. Homeowners insurance is going to become increasingly a big deal in the weeks ahead. You add that, as I mentioned, to the increased cost for electricity. That's new bills are coming up. I think FP&L bills are rising $15 a month in April. These things are going to hit a lot of the middle class and the working class really hard, and it's going to have an impact on home sales.
Groceries, gas.
Sure, yeah. And we hear very little talk about that.
Brian, thanks. We'll be back with more in just a moment.